retro time machine. And today, I'm going to show you how to make a piñata. This project was so much fun to make and share with all the kids in the neighborhood, but it definitely takes a little bit of patience and creativity. For this project, you're going to need quite a few items. You're going to need some tissue paper, balloons, yarn, newspaper, scissors, and your paper mache mixture. You will also need glue, a paintbrush, a hot glue gun, a pin, toilet paper rolls, and 2 googly eyes. And you can't forget the candy and goodies to put inside. Also forgot to mention, you're going to need a cereal box. Start off by snipping your newspaper into long strips about 1 inch to 1.5 inches wide and blow up your balloons. You're going to need one big one, kind of smush it down for a body, and a smaller one for a head and a smaller one for a snout and neck. Paper mache is super easy to make. You're going to need equal parts of flour to water, and I like to add a little bit of salt to keep it from molding, but I've never really had an issue with objects lasting that long. Mix it together nice and smooth, and you'll see all the lumps kind of disappear. That's what you want. When dipping your strips into the paper, only use one side and pull off the excess with your fingers. You're going to do about 3 layers or so, no more than that, or else it'll be like an impenetrable force field. So it'll be pretty strong and you'll have plenty of goo to go around. A good idea is to rotate the way you lay the strips. So if you lay them horizontally, then lay them vertically next. It makes it much stronger. Let everything dry for about 24 hours, preferably in the sun and low humidity, but you can also put it in a bathroom with a heater in if weather is not allowing you to do this project outside. Remove your balloons by just snipping the excess little nubby outside, letting the air escape and pulling them out. So of course you want your piñata to last. So you're going to want to reinforce it with some cheap yarn, hot gluing it and tacking it here and there, and then you're going to make a little loop and tie, reinforce that a couple times because that's where you're going to secure your piñata from. Now of course any good critter needs legs, so I just went and kind of cut a semicircle out of a toilet paper roll. That way I could put it on a curved base. Repeated that step with 4 and kind of balanced him on those legs. Then I just made little marks with a pin so I knew where they would go whenever I was hot gluing. Don't skimp on the hot glue here. You want them to stand up. Now for your other 2 balloons, those are your head and your snoot. Make the snoot a little bit longer so you can shave off about a good inch for the neck. That makes sure the head can balance. Trace around the nose and make a circle so you know where to put your hot glue and you're not guessing. And then find a way to balance that head, and again, make a little circle, put the hot glue on, and secure really good. Reinforcing the legs with tape is optional, but reinforcing the head with thread is very important. So wrap, 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 and then on the back we're going to make another loop and really weave that in and out, tie lots of knots, and really secure that thread. So this is where you're going to need your cereal box. You're going to cut it in half and then make strips out of that, and that's what you're going to use to reinforce the head onto the body. You're going to attach a little bit of hot glue, attach some to the neck and head, and you're going to want these little flaps all around. So we're going to use those flaps to really pin it down onto the body. It's a super important step so his head doesn't pop off halfway through. Once you've got your flaps for your head, take a separate piece of newspaper and crumple it up and stick it inside the neck. Put hot glue on the bottom. That way we're going to have some reinforcement inside there. We're also going to use hot glue on the back side of that and use that to quickly stick it on the head before we attach the flaps. To attach the flaps, put hot glue all over that thing and stick it down and smooth it down. Make sure you press and hold really well. Again, this is where a lot of stability comes from. You can kind of see his head rocking around a little bit, but once I tuck down all those straps, he is secure and handsome. Now you're going to take the other half of your half a cereal box and cut that in half, and you're going to use these for the ears. So like last week's May Day video, we're going to make some paper cones. I'll put a link to that below. Just put hot glue along the edge, fold it over, and secure. Larger versions of this make great gift baskets, and smaller ones make great ears. We're just going to put hot glue on that little edge right there, and then stick and press for a long time. Make sure they stick really well, and then tack on that other ear. He is coming together. Look at him! Oh my gosh! For this next step, you're going to need some hand strength. So cutting through this tissue paper at the bottom allows for there to be markers at the top when it's folded over, and just work your way up. It's quite a bit of effort, but a lot easier than cutting individual pieces. Then do about a 1/2 inch snips all the way up so we have those great little tassels, leaving about 1 inch at the top that you have not cut so we have something to secure. When working your way to the end, make sure at the very end you kind of cut close. Since that piece is folded over, you don't want it to be too big. For this next step, you're just going to need a dash of water in a container and a lot of white glue. Throw that in there and mix it up. It should look something like this. No exact measurements needed. When working on putting on the tassels on the ears, you want to wrap with the fronds going out. On the ears, I only used about 1/2 a strand of tissue paper because they're much smaller and you want to have a variation of color. So just work that down, tacking where needed, and it should turn out super beautiful. I was able to fit 4 colors, but you could do these all in the same color. It is up to you. When working on the legs, you're going to want to use a full piece. I recommend starting on the extremity pieces. That way the tassels are facing down, and just work your way up, alternating through the colors of your choice and tacking and pinning where needed. Once you start getting close to the body, you're going to want to do kind of a figure 8 between the legs. I realized that worked better than trying to wrap that individual color. For the nose, use a solid piece of tissue paper of choice. It doesn't have to be very big because we're going to put more color around it. Again, starting from the outside and working our way in so the tassels are facing out and down. Working your way up, I'm trying to use an equal portion of color per space. When it comes to the ears, you're going to want to kind of wrap around with a light color, a finishing color if you will. And then we're going to use that color to blend everything back down. So we're using our dark, weaving back and forth in kind of a zigzag pattern for the belly, and then going around again, working our way from the bottom up, alternating colors. So a fun fact about piñatas, they actually came from China. Marco Polo, when exploring the Orient, discovered piñatas. They were originally filled with seeds and made in small animals and flowers, and brought them back to Spain. And that's how they got to Mexico, is when the Spaniards came to Mexico, they brought a lot of traditions with them. And so we associate piñatas with Cinco de Mayo, but they're actually Chinese. Pretty interesting, right? Continue to alternate colors until you get to the neck. Look out for those little ropes. You're going to want to leave those out. Once you get to the neck, you're going to do a back and forth motion with single strips. And then by the time you get to the ears, you're going to want to do almost a V shape to kind of fill the space left in between. And then you're going to take 2 tiny pieces with fronds out and just put them on the cheek to blend everything in. Don't forget the googly eyes. So the cool thing about this piñata is it actually lasted about 30 minutes. I just took the best takes out of the clips that we recorded. I actually went in at the end and snipped some of the strings at the body because he just was not popping open. The kids had so much fun and it was a blast. Thank you guys so much for watching, and always, God bless. Take care. Love you guys.